I knew today would be a good day, and I didn't know why. I woke up an hour before my alarm, birds were chirping, and the air felt easier to breathe, but those were all symptoms of something greater. That's when I remembered. Asuka sacrificed himself to take Happy Chaos and Pod with him in this latest patch. With that, and lower damage across the board, Millia is a much better character by proxy of everyone else being worse. When I picked up Millia, I was expecting a steep learning curve similar to all the previous characters I played, but the day one game plan was simple. Set up H-Disc while they're down. H-Disc is a character-defining move in that it's a command jump that launches a delayed projectile. With her Swiss Army knife of air actions, she can make H-Disc impossible to block, and when it does hit, she can combo off of it to either set another disc, wall break, or go for a quick reset, all of which can force you to guess on block once more. She has an extremely fast run speed alongside quicker advancing moves to help her get in on her opponent. She also has 2 air dashes as well as Capel and Turbo Fall, giving her lots of ways to move around and stay safe in the air. I could time my approach for when my opponent whips a button or when they commit to a slow move, or I could just hair car full screen and hope they aren't blocking low. This works way more than it should. H-Disc isn't the only way to mix your opponent though. Her 6k is an overhead and she can jump cancel her close slash and 5k into an instant overhead. There's probably a lot more, but this was enough to get me started with her. Playing her makes me feel smarter than my opponent. I don't know, there's just something about breaking my opponent's ankles that inflates my ego. That, and I can't really afford to make mistakes with this character because she dies to a light breeze. It does feel really bad when your opponent guesses right on the 4th or 5th 50-50 and I just die for it where any other character would have killed off of landing that many hits. Besides having to land twice as many hits as my opponent and having 2k get spaced out when trying to take my turn back, there isn't much to complain about when it comes to playing Millia. Maybe it's like Zato or Bedman, where she would be the best character in the game if it weren't for glaring flaws that you only find out once you lap the matchup, but I haven't found that yet. So Millia's top tier until proven otherwise. It could just be that there are other characters that do what she does but better without sacrificing damage and also don't die from one mistake. One thing I should utilize more is blocking bursts, since people tend to burst when they either fail to block H-Disc or get hit by close slash after, which are both burst safe. Once you block their burst, you could carry that momentum and potentially take the whole round since they lost both burst and deflect shield. Whether this character is good or bad doesn't actually matter. What does matter is I feel like teabagging and saying gap after every win because Millia makes me feel like I'm better than my opponent just by playing her. The only way I can describe it is the same feeling spy mains get when they do their job in TF2. In fact, everything I feel about playing Ez or against Spy Team Fortress are the exact same as how I feel playing Ez or against Millia. When I fight her, she's impossible to block and I feel like I lost the entire round because I got caught by a single 2k. But when I play her, all common sense goes out the window. I'm just saying stupid shit in my head like that triple side switch tick throw was calculated based on your response to my last few mix-ups, and since the weather was 2 degrees warmer than yesterday, it was written in the stars that Mercury would be in retrograde, which tells me that tap dust is reactable according to the data researchers did back when Obama was president, and since you clearly only have 83% of your meter, there's no way you would expect him to throw you there instead of confirming the counter hit 2k. Also, why can Eddie and Zato move at the same time? This game is for infants. I'm not saying all Millia players are like this, she just happens to turn me into an insufferable narcissist. The rabbit hole goes way deeper than what I'm doing, but I'm content with pretending H-Disc is a meaty after a throw or sweep and stealing the corner with Turbo Fall. For counterplay, I did find a 20-minute video on how to block most of Millia's mix, including layers I wasn't even aware of. I'll leave that in the description if the game feels lost the second there's a disc in your face. Like Venom, Millia is as complex as you want her to be. You could spend thousands of hours learning real mix that's fact-checked by true hair enjoyers, or you can H-Disc off of anything and hope they don't notice. She feels great to play when starting with her and only got better as I learned her. There's probably a valley of despair where I get good enough to know about what I'm supposed to do, but not good enough to actually do it, but I'm sure that applies for every character. If you enjoy breaking your opponent's ankles with left-right projectile Loki and stylish combos at the cost of damage, then Happy Chaos is the perfect character. Satan will love you, Happy Chaos. Rest in piss. You were a lot of fun to play though. To the Millia mains out there, what was your experience learning this character? I'd love to read about it in the comments below. Considering the Happy Chaos player base was likely wiped off the face of the earth, it might be time to make that Happy Chaos video. Anyway, I appreciate all the support and I'll see you guys eventually.